Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I like to invite the speaker, Professor Sheikh Bilal Ahmed, who will talk about biodiversity of Himalayan medicinal plants and the opportunities for entrepreneurship development in the sector. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I am Professor Sheikh Bilal Ahmed. So today we shall be talking on biodiversity of Himalayan medicinal plants, opportunities for entrepreneurship development. When we talk about the Himalayan region, it covers the areas of Jammu, Kashmir, Himachal, and Uttarakhand. And there is a unique biodiversity found in these areas or in the Himalayan region because of the altitude and the temperature regimes that exist in the region, which is unique from the medicinal plants that grow in the plains. So we'll be talking about, because there is a huge number of these medicinal plants which are being used from the Himalayan region. So we shall be discussing some of the potential medicinal plants which exist in these Himalayan regions or the alpine medicinal plants, which can be utilized, are being utilized for this medicine, or they can be used for some other thing, particularly maybe as food source. So we shall be discussing about those things. So first of all, I'll tell you some of the important medicinal plants that we find in this Himalayan region. And though there are large numbers, a big, huge array of the medicinal plants that exist in this region, but we shall be talking about the medicinal plants that have got a huge potential insofar as this AYUSH sector is concerned on one side. And then we can be talking about these medicinal plants which exist in the Himalayan region, which could be utilized for some other purposes other than medicinal uses. So Sasuria costus, one of the important medicinal plant that is found in the Himalayan region, which is commonly known as kot. Its roots are being used, and it is antispasmodic, asthmatic, and aphrodisiac. Very important medicinal plant, which was endemic to Kashmir, and now it is being cultivated, or it does exist in the ecosystem of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand also. And this plant is being cultivated also in Himachal and in J&K and Uttarakhand. Aconitum heterophyllum is another important medicinal plant commonly called as patris, which is its root is being used expectorant, antihelminthic, and anti-inflammatory. And equally, there is another important plant, that Trillium guarnianum, tripatri, aphrodisiac. And this is particularly one of the plants, or these are the plants, in fact, you find very rarely now in their ecosystem because of the destructive harvesting that happened for the extraction of these plants. And most of them are being smuggled in one way or the other. So therefore, they have become by and large critically endangered now, these plants. Mycorrhiza kurua kutuki. It is again a very important plant. Rhizome of this plant is being used for liver disorders and chronic diarrhea. And another important plant is Podophyllum hexandrum, we call it, or it's called Banakakri. Whole plant is being used. It is used for the cancer, uterine cancer, skin cancer, hepatic stimulant. Very important medicinal plant. Arnabia benthami is another thing. Again, a critically endangered plant, very important plant. Cardiac disorders and diseases of tongue and throat, Dioscorea deltoides, antihelminthic and ophthalmic infection. Fritillaria royale is one of the important medicinal plant. We'll be talking about this. It is used for the urinary tract infection, softening of the skin. Virginia salata, the whole plant, it is used for minor cuts. It is otherwise called in Hindi or Urdu, it is called as Zakmi Hayat. I mean, for the wounds, it is being very effective. The name goes by that. It is used for the fever, pulmonary infection, and the urinary calculi. Fritillaria royale in particular is one of the very important medicinal plants which comes in the Ashtavarga group. Ashtavarga group is an 8 medicinal plants which are being used in the Ayurveda, and therefore this Fritillaria royale is one of the important components, and it is very rarely found now in the ecosystem. Then we shall be talking about some of the common Himalayan medicinal plants that are edible. As I said that we are going further to discuss about the entrepreneurship development also. So medicinal plants, they are being generally used on one way by the pharmaceutical companies for the manufacture of the drugs. And another way is that they can be utilized by the entrepreneurs who can go and venture into this area and utilize them for some different area. For example, they can make some value-added products out of these medicinal plants, or they can be used as food. And that way they will ensure food and nutritional security. One of the plants is pursulone. It is commonly called Pursulone potiluca oleracea. Its leaves and stems are being used. And Taraxum optionale, dandelion, flowers and its leaf is being used. Rumex, sheep sorrel leaves. Utica dioica, stinging nettle. It is being Rehimimodi rhubarb. It is Helianthus tuberosus, Ferula foetida, German chamomile, and Viola odorata. These are some of the very important medicinal plants which are used for making various products. Maybe they are used for making various types of vegetable. They are being used as salad. They can be used as a vegetable, or they can be converted into some value-added products like pickles, jams, jellies, and other things. And its flowers are also being used. Flowers of these medicinal plants are also being used for making some excellent teas, which have got a huge market globally. Now, what I'm saying, as I said in the beginning, there are diverse uses of the medicinal plants. Now, medicinal plants can be used as in the AYUSH sector as medicine, as a raw material for manufacturing of the drugs in Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, or Sovarikpa, or homeopathy. So medicines can be utilized, medicines can be manufactured from these medicinal plants. And there are some of the very important, very potential medicinal plant drugs which are being extracted from these Himalayan medicinal plants. Another way, as I said, that for entrepreneurship development, medicinal plants can be used for as a source of food. They can be used to ensure food and nutritional security, and as they can be used as value-added products can be made out of them, and also they can be used as such, as raw, as vegetables, or as salad. For example, many pickles, jams, juices, chips, packed veggies can be made out of them. Herbal teas, which is this time very important thing. Everybody is looking for these herbal teas, and herbal coffee is being made from the roots of the dandelion, and one of the best, very expensive coffees in the world. Herbal teas are equally very large number of herbal teas are being made, but some of the medicine plants from the Himalayan region have also been used for the preparation preparation of these herbal teas, excellent herbal teas, or they can be used for essential oils like Artemisia. Tagetes minuta is one of the important which grows wild in the Himalayan region, or even rosemary and even herbal cream. So the thing is that that medicinal plant, besides being used for in the AYUSH sector for the manufacture of the drugs, they can also be used as food substitutes and added in the food in our main food streams. So this is another important opportunity that exists with the herbal medicinal plant. So we'll be discussing about some of the important medicines that are being extracted from these herbal plants. Himalayan herbal plants, and then we shall be talking about some of the products where there are the opportunities for the young budding entrepreneurs to venture into this medicinal plant sector. So important active principles from the Himalayan medicinal plants. We'll be talking, there is large number of them, but we'll be talking about some of the medicinal plants which are being important medicinal plants, some of the important medicine active principles which are being extracted from these medicinal plants. For example, berberine. Berberine is extracted from Berberis aristata. Daru haldi it is called. And it is a very important medicine. This product, that is berberine, it is really, there's a huge demand for this product. And Berberis aristata, there are two species of this which are having this berberine, that is Berberis aristata and Berberis lysicum. Both of them are having, they are growing wild also, and they are being cultivated in some parts of Jammu and Kashmir, and also in Uttarakhand. So therefore, it's a very good source of this plant. Then its medicinal properties of this berberine, as you know, it is used as an antibiotic, used in the penicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and antifungal property. So there is a very huge use out of this berberine. This is one of the very important active principles that is being extracted from berberine.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Bilal, you have to manually change the slides. It's not changing automatically.
Manually
You're on the
change the
first
slide. Yeah.
slides.
I'm changing.
You're changing. Okay. I'm able to see the first slide only.
No, I have changed all the slides manually. I'm
Okay.
7-8 slides I have shown.
Can you just once again just go to the previous slide, then change it? Any previous slide. From the
This is
current.
important active principles from Himalayan medicinal plant. Has it come?
No, I don't see.
Oh.
Maybe you can stop and restart the sharing.
Stop.
Stop the sharing and then restart it.
Has it come? First slide. Huh?
Yeah, first slide is showing.
Okay. Second slide. Okay. Has second slide come?
No. Yeah, now it is the Himalayan medicinal plants that are used for common ailments.
Now berberine has come.
Still not. No, still not. Maybe you can do the sharing thing automatically instead of sending it manually. On the top right corner, bottom right corner, you'll find that button. Slideshow.
It is saying share, and then now you are saying you are sharing the screen, right?
On the bottom right corner, you'll have the option for slide sharing, no? The slideshow, I mean.
Slideshow.
Bottom right corner.
Okay. Just a minute.
Now your screen is not visible.
Has it come?
Yeah, it has come. You're on the slide Taxol.
Textile, yeah. So let me go. So I was discussing about berberine, right?
Yeah,
Has berberine come?
yeah, it has come.
Okay. Let me go to another important medicinal plant is called colchicine. Colchicine is extracted from Colchicum luteum, Suranjan. It is commonly called as anti-inflammatory and analgesic. Arthritic pain it is being very much used. And colchicine was earlier also used in the for the genetic studies also. And this was originally extracted from Colchicum luteum. And this is very important and medicinal plant. And usually it starts blooming early in the season when the spring comes. One of the few medicinal plants which blooms early in the season. Imodin. Imodin is extracted from Rahim imodi, and it is commonly called as rhubarb. So it will be also used as this plant, particularly as a source of food. We'll be talking about this. Its medicinal uses are that it reduces the impact of type 2 diabetes. It exhibits anti-cancer properties in human pancreatic cancer. So very important medicinal plant obtained from Rahim imodi. Then there is a Taxol. Texas wallichiana, Texas baccata, a very important active principle obtained from this plant and anti-cancerous properties known for it is, but over a period is commonly called as U, and over a period of time because of destructive harvesting, this has become critically endangered now. Podophyllin, phytotoxin is another important medicinal plant which is extracted from the Podophyllum hexarum, which, as I said earlier, Banakakri it is called. It is used for genital warts caused by human papilloma virus, and it is also a precursor for many anti-cancer agents. So very important medicinal plant, therefore Podophyllum hexandrum, from which this drug is being extracted. So this is some of the medicinal plants which have got Himalayan medicinal plants which have got the potential to be used as in the pharmaceutical companies for the production of many drugs. But now there are opportunities where we can utilize them as for the entrepreneurship development, how an ordinary person can go and start developing some of the products from this and start their marketing and earn a livelihood from these Himalayan medicinal plants. So we'll be talking about entrepreneurship development in the medicinal plant sector. So first of all, this is Protula oleracea. It is called Procylone. This is laxative. It has got a huge, it has got medicinal properties, laxative property, diuretic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and then it is very rich in the various nutrients. For example, omega-3 fatty acids. Normally, we take walnuts. Everybody looks for walnuts, and the component for which they are actually eating it is the omega-3 fatty acids. This particular plant contains 14 times higher omega-3 fatty acid than is found in the walnuts. It's really very high quantity. And then potassium, 3,100 milligrams. Beta carotene, 20,000 micrograms. 7 times more than what is found in the carrots. And again, vitamin E, 6 times more than spinach. You don't find these highly nutritious vegetables in the common use, these properties, these medicinal properties, these benefits exist in these Himalayan medicinal plants. It is basically also called nunnar or kulfa. And when it is being tasted, we make a vegetable out of it. And nunnar means it is coming from the salt. Actually, it tastes saltish, slightly saltish, and wonderful. People really rejoice taking this vegetable. And it can be marketed very easily. It can be marketed, and people can earn a livelihood out of this plant. This Helianthus tuberosus, another important medicine, commonly called as Jerusalem artichoke, which is aphrodisiac, diuretic, spermatogenic, very important medicinal plant, and good for diabetes and rheumatism. This plant is normally people. This is like it resembles very much potato, and when you see its composition vis-a-vis potato, then really it is very surprising. For example, it doesn't contain fats at all, 0% fat. Inulin content is very, very high, 30% inulin content. Iron, and when you find that inulin content, you look into potato, it is 0.5, almost negligible. Iron 18, and in case of potato is 0.3. Potassium 429, in case of potato it is 150. Then we compare the glycemic index of this, and it is 49 in case of Jerusalem artichoke, and in case of potato it is 82. So therefore it is very good for the diabetic patients because the inulin content that it contains is the main factor that helps in the diabetic patients, because it is a sucrose, it is a carbohydrate which is normally non-digestible easily. So therefore, glucose does not spike in the blood. So therefore, very useful, and many products can be made out of this. We'll be discussing about those products also. Taraxum optional is dandelion. It is commonly known as goddess herb because every part of this plant has a tremendous use. Its leaves are being used, its flowers are being used, and its roots are being used. It is strongly diuretic, laxative, and UTI. One of the important things about this plant is very rich in calcium, 187 milligrams of calcium, and also vitamin A, 14,000 international units it has. Now, it is flowers are being used for making dandelion flower tea, and its roots are being used for making dandelion coffee. Very good, caffeine free. And then its whole stems and the leaves are being used as a vegetable, and which are being which can be supplied in the supermarkets, and they are high valued medicinal plants, can be made available in the markets anywhere, and it is being done in Europe and North America. People do market them for this as a vegetable, So therefore, there is a huge potential for this. And also being rich in calcium, it helps in actually in the particularly for the women, lactating women, where there's a loss of calcium and all that. So it is very useful to them for them also. Eucasteva, it's called as arugula. And this is really immunity booster, anti-inflammatory, and fights osteoporosis. It is being very commonly marketed in Europe. Some of the packing which you will see, I have seen on the left side, it is basically a packing in the Europe. And we have also made some of the products out of it, the biryani and all that. And it can be used as a salad also. And it contains potassium, very high potassium, and vitamin also A, C, and calcium. It's also very rich in calcium. And during this COVID-19, it was being very much used in Europe and America as a vegetable as an immunity booster. So this is Utica dioica, and it is called stinging nettle. And normally this is it has a medicinal rating of 5 out of 5, and even edibility rating of 5 out of 5, because it is really a wonderful plant. Otherwise it does sting. It is called stinging nettle. Nobody usually touches it, but it is very good for as a diuretic and a stimulating tonic. It treats enlarged prostate and lowers blood sugar. Then, so far as the nutrients are concerned, it is very rich in all fat and water-soluble vitamins. It is rich in calcium, magnesium, iron, phosphorus, and potassium, very important minerals for the human body. And then the fatty acids, all unsaturated fatty acids like linoleic acid, linolenic acid, palmitic acid, ceteric acid, arachidonic acid, all those acids are very much present in it. Amino acids, all essential amino acids are present in this. Pigment is beta carotene. And one of the products that is being marketed out of this is the nettle leaf tea. One can easily go for the entrepreneurship development in it, because it is easily available, and there is a huge demand for the nettle leaf tea globally and also in the country. Then there is another Rahim Imodi rhubarb, which is called as Pamchalan or Pambahak also. Medicinal value, it has got antiseptic, antispasmodic, diuretic. The root is used for chronic constipation and liver and gall stones also. Its leaves are being cooked. It has an excellent flavor. Stems can also be dried and used during the winter. And this particularly, it is being marketed again elsewhere in the world, and also in in Gurez and Ladakh, Kargil, people are usually storing it for the winter feeding. They dry it during the summer, collect it from the wild, and then they utilize it as a vegetable also, and very good vegetable. It can be marketed. Again, people can earn livelihood security from this. Romex is another sheep sorrel, and it also grows very abundantly, and it is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, treats dysentery. Edible leaves are being used as a vegetable, and it can be used as sorrel drinks. Very rich in vitamin A, C, iron, and magnesium. Rhododendron, again, it is found in Jammu, Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And very important medicinal plant, a tree medicinal plant, and it has got very important uses. Medicinal leaves are used into paste applied for the headaches, for the treatment. Juice can be taken from the bark also for the treatment of coughs and diarrhea and dysentery. And juice can be made out of the flowers for the menstrual disorders. Flowers are used for pickles and chutneys. And petal juice is marketed in Uttarakhand. A very common thing that is being Burhan's juice. It is very easily available and marketed in a large scale. Furula foetida, S. foetida, which is called as hing. Again, very important. 40% consumption of this is found in India, and now it is being grown in Himachal Pradesh and also in Ladakh also. They have started cultivating this plant there. Otherwise, we used to import it from other Iran and other countries, and because 40% of the global demand is in India. It is used as a spice, and for the treatment of bloating and indigestion, for respiratory problems, bronchitis, for lowering the blood pressure. Everywhere in Jammu and Kashmir, it is being used. Its leaves are being cooked. However, the gum risen out of its root is used as a flavor in the foods, and everybody uses it. It is very popular natural blood food cuisine and a garlic substitute. The reason obtained from this plant is probably the foulest smell of all herbs. So that is why some people uh, avoid it, but otherwise, after cooking, the foul smell usually does not remain there. So there are some of the product development. As I said, that there are many products that can be developed from these herbal. We have developed some of the products. For example, we made the way people are making gajar ka halwa. We made that halwa out of the Jerusalem artichoke. We made pickles out of them. We make in a substitute for potato. These tikkiyas, we made these Jerusalem tikkiyas. We made chips out of it. These are the foods that are good for the diabetic patients also. Anybody can eat them very nicely. And this is here where the entrepreneurship development comes from the medicinal plants, particularly from the Jerusalem artichoke. Then various herbal teas that we have developed from the medicinal plants that exist here. Rhododendron, Veronica, Bistrota, Banafsha, Mushkubala, chamomile, and nettle leaf. We have developed these teas here, and they can be marketed. Anybody can venture into this and develop these products. These are the herbal teas, different types of herbal teas. Then again, we are talking as this entrepreneurship development, medicinal plants from the Himalayan region. This is particularly Virginia ciliata. It has a wonderful bloom, and when it starts blooming early in the March. So therefore, ecotourism, it can be used in ecotourism for creating herbal parks and gardens, and this is where it can be utilized for entrepreneurship development. Uh, Both in the private sector or people can do it jointly, as has been done here in some of the parts of the Kashmir. So we shall be talking about some of the biodiversity that exists in the Himalayan medicinal plant. This Arnavia benthami, one of the important medicinal plant, at present very critically endangered because of the destructive harvesting. This is Echinacea purpurea. This is another important medicinal plant. Actually, if you see that this is the in the bottom this American Botanical Association, it is their logo. On the logo, this plant exists there. This is a important immunity booster, and during COVID-19 also this was being used, and it can be very successfully raised and cultivated here anywhere in the Himalayan region. This is Virginia ciliata, another important medicinal plant, as I said. This is Anula racemosa, Pushkar Mula, and very high demand for this from the Dabur company for production of these drugs. So it can be very easily grown by the people, and then its roots can be marketed to the pharmaceutical companies for making the drugs. This is Sasuria costus. As I said, that this is one of the important medicinal plant, and very high priced, high valued medicinal plant, and one can even extract the honey from this, and this can be utilized for the entrepreneurship development by the people. This is Digitalis purpurea, another important medicinal plant. Then we have got Viola odorata. Its flowers can be used for making the tea, and it's otherwise this plant used for various treatments of throat and chest. This is Taistus minuta. Essential oil extracted from this grows wild, and it is being cultivated also. The essential oil that's extracted from this plant can be utilized for various ailments, and can be supplied to the pharmaceutical company, and it is selling at a very high price of around 14,000 rupees a liter. Then this is Podophyllum hexandrum. As I told, it is an important source of the drug. This is Matricaria chamomilla, very important. This can be grown very easily, and its flowers are used for making the chamomile tea, which is selling very, very expensive, and it has a huge demand, this tea. Now, to sum up this biodiversity of these medicinal plants, I would say Himalayan medicinal plants are rare, critically endangered, and high in demand. Now, Astuvarga group of medicinal plants mostly includes alpine medicinal plants. Astuvarga actually contains 8 medicinal plants. Out of these 8, 5 medicinal plants usually grow in the alpine region, grow in the Himalayan region. So there is a huge potential for these medicinal plants in the Himalayan region uh, for the various pharmaceutical companies. Many high value products can be developed from Himalayan medicinal plants. As I told you, some of the medicinal plant that can be reduced from this, and there's a huge potential for this. Being in high demand, production of quality planting material of these high valued medicinal plants can be highly profitable. Since there's a huge demand for these, and therefore, if somebody goes for the production of the quality planting material, one can easily earn a livelihood from them, and because there's a very high cost also, and of this medicinal plants, and can be easily, and there's a high demand also. Some of the medicinal plants have got profuse blooms, as I said. For example, Virginia ciliata can be used for ecotourism also, and uh, besides having other benefits, medicinal benefit, they can be used for the ecotourism. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Bilal, for the detailed presentation. So I'll now take up some questions. Okay. The first question is, what are the most commercially viable Himalayan medicinal plant species that farmers and entrepreneurs can focus on for sustainable cultivation?
Yeah. So far as this, we'll be talking about some of the Himalayan medicinal plants that are being that are viable and are being successfully can be used for successful cultivation. One of them is Suria costus. Suria costus, as I said, it has a high demand. It can be cultivated also. Annular racemosa is another important plant that can be cultivated very easily. And Podophyllum hexandrum is again growing very nicely. And even Aconitum heterophyllum is also successfully growing. We have raised it in the plains also, and its multiplication is very easy also. Virginia ciliata is another important medicinal plant that can be raised, and Metricaria chamomile is also very important medicinal plant that can be raised very successfully, and it is very viable. Its cultivation and techniques are all standardized for this.
Okay. And how is the biodiversity of these plants being conserved amid challenges like overharvesting and climate change?
Yeah, actually, so far as this conservation of this biodiversity is concerned, this actually is taken out by the money R&D organizations. One of the organized, for example, is the forest departments. Basically, they do it they do for the in situ conservation, because uh, that is they grow in their own ecosystems in the forest fringe areas, and there are many such conservatory parks have been developed here also in Kashmir also, and they are available in Himachal also. Similarly, National Medicinal Plant Board is also promoting the conservation of these high altitude medicinal plants. So they are Regional-Cum-Facilitation centers, and this is going on, and many plants, particularly this Aconitum heterophyllum, even Trillium govanianum, they are being even Texas Wallichiana, they are being conserved. In situ conservation is of these plants is being done. However, there is a need to go for the development of tissue culture. Probably could be another option by which these plants can be conserved. They could be raised through the tissue culture and then allowed to be conserved in the forest fringe areas or in their natural ecological zones or ecosystems.
Okay. And what are the best practices for cultivation and post-harvest management to maintain the active medicinal compounds in these plants?
Yeah, actually, it will vary from plant to plant. Different plants have got different things. For example, in case of annular racemosa, for example, it usually comes, it's being extracted after 2 years. Its roots are being extracted after 2 years. One has to ensure that it doesn't have enough moisture. Here is a primary process, that is the shade drying, so that there's a minimum temperature and there is no direct this suns. They are not to be dried in the open. Then there's a basically cleaning process. Before that, they have to be cleaned very thorough so that they get rid of the mud and other things. And then there's a proper packing is to be done. And usually the guinea bags are being used for this type of packing. Or even this time, they can be Sasuria costus, for example, its roots are also being this taken out after 2 years usually, and then they are being cleaned, they are being shade dried, and even they can be now converted into powder, and in the powdered form they could be put in the bags and then transported wherever they have to go. So these packaging practices or the post-harvest things will actually depend upon the type of the plant you are dealing with.
And are there any specific zones or altitudes identified as ideal for large-scale cultivation of set medicinal plants?
Altitude.
Yeah, altitudes. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, as you see these Himalayan medicinal plants, they grow at different altitudes naturally. But for example, let us talk about Susuria costus or even Aconitum heterophyllum. So they grow at certain altitude. But what we have seen is that you can also raise them under in the plains also. Now, in the plains means in the temperate region only, or not in the warm plains or in the tropical regions. And but some shade structure is required for them, and then they can be cultivated in the lower altitudes also. And we have seen that also we have gone for the analysis of some of the these components for a particularly in case of Susuya, we did not find any change in the toxicology, these active principles when from in the roots that were extracted from the forest ecosystem, plants from the forest ecosystem, and those which were extracted from the roots grown in the plains. So some of the plants can be grown, and there are some standardized techniques which we have been doing for last 3-4 years, and we have been successful raising some of these high altitude medicinal plants down in the plains temperature.
Okay. What are the value chain gaps that offer the most potential for entrepreneurship, cultivation, processing, or marketing?
Which one?
What are the value chain gaps that offer
Yeah.
the most potential for entrepreneurship, cultivation, processing, or marketing?
Yeah, actually, there are so many things in it. One of the things is particularly as we see that there is lack of awareness also among the people, and they have been dependent usually on extraction of these medicinal plants from their natural ecosystems. As they would do it, then there would be no proper marketing. For example, the mandis they there for bringing that produce in those mandis are going for the regular marketing. What they do is they sell it through these middlemen, and they actually give them a very little amount, and then those products when you do, for example, I'll talk about Jammu Kashmir, the products are being taken by the middlemen, and they take it to Delhi or to Manjit Madi Amritsar. So directly, unless you have got those mandis available here, the marketing at the doors, and you cannot get, there's a big gap that is existing actually. Now National Medicinal Plant Board is coming up with this establishment of these mandis at the local level, so that farmers who are cultivating it or the collectors who are collecting it from their ecosystem, from the natural ecosystem, they'll be in a position to sell them directly in the markets. Or there is another approach which is being followed, is that is the contract farming. In that case, what is happening is that directly the buyers, they enter into an agreement with the growers, and they cultivate them, and then on spot they go and take the produce directly from the farmer. And therefore this gap is being overcome, and that way it is happening in some of the cases now here, and farmers have started earning some good amount of the money, or even the entrepreneurship is also taking place. People are taking directly to the markets in Delhi, and therefore avoiding the middlemen in between.
Okay. How can small-scale farmers connect with approved buyers or from pharmaceutical industries for a market linkage?
Actually, some of the farmers there are some potential farmers. It's a very few farmers, but if you go for the bulk of the farmers, large scale farmers, there is no connectivity to that. But some of the farmers definitely they do have got the connection with the pharmaceutical companies, and therefore they do buy they do sell their produce, directly to them. So that way, I think that is an eye opener for others also, and this is happening in few cases here. But basically, still it is lacking in a large scale. This needs to be done, and for which probably the lot of awareness and other things are required.
Okay. Sorry. How is the regional facilitation supporting the development of region-specific cultivation protocols and quality systems?
Pardon, your voice is not audible.
Okay. I just pose the question in the chat box. I've added the question
Yeah, please read.
in the box.
Are you ready?
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I've added the question in the chat box.
Hello.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
No, I'm not getting you actually. You are
Okay.
asking question. Can you read it? This question.
Okay. How is the Regional-Cum-Facilitation Center supporting the development of region-specific cultivation protocols and quality assurance systems?
Absolutely, yeah. National Medicinal Plant Board has mandated Regional-Cum-Facilitation centers uh, for this for this support and for this uh, uh, what you this is the quality assurance. And there are some of the farms which are being actually monitored by uh, this quality assurance control, and this is being done actually even for the quality planting material. Earlier it used to be collected directly from the forest, and now the traceability of the material is being looked into, and this has been mandated by regional cum facilitation centers by the National Medicinal Plant Board.
Okay. So now we have the last question. What kind of R&D and policy support is being planned under NMPB to promote commercialization while ensuring biodiversity conservation?
Yeah. Actually, their National Medicinal Plant Board is basically supporting R&D also, because so many projects are being sanctioned for different R&D institutions where they conduct the research, and also through state medicinal plant boards, and also through regional-cum-facilitation centers, the cultivation and the conservation of these medicinal plants is being carried out. Also, the forest department projects are also sanctioned to the forest departments, and for the conservation of these medicinal plants. So there is a good support from the medicinal plant board for the cultivation, commercialization, and conservation of these medicinal plants to state medicinal plant boards, RCFCs, and other R&D organizations.
Okay. Okay, Professor Sheikh Ahmed, I don't see any more questions. So
Okay.
now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank you for the detailed presentation, answering all the questions in depth. So
Okay.
we'll be ending this meeting now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.